Man, I don't decide. Shit, we playing the Hornets tonight. I'ma chill. I only get to go to Charlotte 2 times a year. Somebody paid their money to come watch me play. Like, not trying to be arrogant, and like it's a bunch of kids in there, my shoes and my jersey. And just because we playing Charlotte on NBA League Pass on a Monday, but ain't nobody watching, I'm chilling tonight. That's not what the great players, the best players do. So the way y'all compete in the middle, I loved it. Competing, talking, blocking shots, hard fouls, but still being safe. Like, that's basketball. But then you can't go on the side that's like, we ain't playing them. They still watching. They still evaluate. They didn't come to see me play. Paolo or Brad, they know what we can do. Y'all the future, y'all next. So just keep that in mind. Like, ranked player, not big game, not big game. Like, compete, play basketball. Because don't take the for granted.
Michael, I'm
like it.
laughing.
That is the wisdom.
Michael, I'm laughing at the Charlotte Hornets taking an unnecessary stray. Like, why was that your example? Like, Charlotte's minding their business at home, probably practicing.
Shots were fired,
and here comes Jason Tatum. Well, because we're playing Charlotte on League Pass and nobody gives a damn. Like, why am I in it? I didn't even do anything. I'm just like.
He didn't say give a damn. He ain't say give a damn either. Because they wouldn't have bleeped out damn. So he went in. He went in on the Charlotte Hornets play. And that's the wisdom. That's the wisdom, Liv Moods. Talking about what it takes to be an elite player and to have your focus and to get to a championship level. Tatum next year is going to be eligible for that Supermax where he's going to be the highest paid player in the NBA. But right now, that title belongs to Jaylen Brown, who is a $300 million plus man for the Celtics. Liv Moods, how do you feel about this? And if you just had to give me your take of Jaylen Brown and what kind of player you think he is.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the money that Jaylen Brown is making is an investment. And a lot of people have a problem with the number, but the reality is you either let him walk or you pay him the big bucks. And I don't think there's a better player to be in his spot for this Celtics team. It's not just about talent when you're building a team that you're hoping to win a championship. It's about who can these players coexist with. We know Jason Tatum is obviously the star here. And what I love the most about Jaylen Brown is his ability to turn a game around, but also his, his humble confidence where he's okay with not being the center of attention. And it sounds crazy that I'm bringing that up, but unfortunately it's not common in this league that you have somebody that's able to coexist and not be the center of attention. And I think Jason Tatum is speaking like a true hooper in that statement, definitely a hooper that wants a Supermax here in a little bit. But it's not crazy that players should want to get reps in and want to compete. And I think the Celtics team is definitely proving that they are investing in Brown. I have always been a fan of Brown. I love the way that he plays. He is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. I love the way he plays. I love his style of game. I think he's in the best situation in terms of the team that he's on is a perfect fit for him, but the bar is high. If you're going to make money like that, that is an investment. You can make the same case talking about a Justin Herbert in the NFL. When you make that kind of money, the bar is high. I don't expect you to just play well. I don't expect your stat line to be well or to be great, but I expect you to win games. This, to me, if you're going to get paid big bucks like that, Jaylen Brown's got to prove he's one of the clutchest players in the league with money like that. So again, is it a big number? Yes. Is it a little too big? Sure. But it was either pay him or let him walk. And I don't think they can afford to do that right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Michael, you already know what people are going to say. Well, Jaylen Brown can't go to his left and blah, blah, blah. That, we know that. We're aware. Like, we understand the handles. We understand the critique of all of that. But I think that, like we were talking about in, the block before, continuity and chemistry matters in team sports. And it matters more than ever in the NFL, in the NBA, because of the constant movement, the constant, revolving door between front office personnel, coaching staff, players. And the Boston Celtics, I believe, have been successful because they have remained constant. Yeah, one or two players have moved around, but their core has been the same. These guys have grown together. It's one of the reasons why the Denver Nuggets have been so successful and were so successful this season. It was that chemistry, that continuity that always existed within the organization, specifically with the guys on the court, that finally came to fruition, and they won a chip. You cannot cheat the system. You cannot cheat the basketball gods. They do not reward it. We have seen that time and time again. Boston knows that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum together is better than one of them without the other. And in order to keep the two of them, you got to pay the two of them. That means you lose a Grant Williams. That means you lose this player. That means you lose that player. But you cannot afford to lose one of the best, if not the best, depending on who you ask, tandems in the NBA. The team will suffer. The team will lose. You saw what happened when they lost their head coach, how much of a transition that was when, the whole situation with Ime Udoka went down, how they struggled with a new coaching situation. You cannot afford to do that on the court. Boston knew that the odds were not in their favor. Boston knew the cards on the table. They had no choice but to pay JB, and I'm happy. His teacher's a moron. Now she's probably sick somewhere counting $304 million she does not have, but that serves her right. Or him. I don't know who it was, him or her, whatever.
Follow up on that, Ashley, so people know what you're talking about. What did Jaylen Brown's teacher say?
He tweeted in 2014, my teacher said, it's a she, okay. My teacher said she will look me up in the Cobb County Jail in 5 years. That was in 2014. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with today's date, it is July 26, 2003. So 2023, sorry, not 2003, 2023. And whatever teacher said that to Jaylen Brown is not having a good day or a good week. I can tell you that much. Not only is he not in jail, but he has $304 million in the bank. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So, some people shouldn't have the job. It's a privilege, really, to teach. But I will say this before we move on. Jaylen Brown, the Ringer had a ranking. They ranked the 125 best players in basketball, and it was a disputed list. I think I wasn't on Brother from Another that day, but I think Natalie and others talked about it. Jordan Poole didn't make the 125. I know Natalie was upset about that at the time. He was off the 125, but Jaylen was number 22. Jamal Murray was number 16, and Jokic was number 1. So, you can debate the players. Hey, Jaylen should have been a little higher. He should have been a little lower. You make the point. This is one of the handful. This is one of the NBA 1 and 2 percenters. I mean, this is the upper class in the league. He's a homegrown guy. He's 26 years old. You've won a lot of games with him. You'd be foolish to walk away from that.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.